A lot of people think if you're a faith-based content creator, you have to stay in one lane, talk about sin, quote Bible verses, preach to the choir. And while all of that has its place, one man proved that you can follow your calling and break the mold. Justin Coe didn't just build a ministry, he built a movement. He didn't have a big church backing him, no fancy production team, just a GoPro, a lot of faith, and a vision that ministry could be something more. So if you've ever thought about starting a faith-based channel, or you're already in ministry and wondering how to make a bigger impact online, Justin's story might be exactly the encouragement you need. When Justin first started creating content, he wasn't trying to go viral. He was newly married, living across the country from everything familiar, and had just landed what he thought was his dream job, teaching at a small Bible college. It paid $44,000 a year, which was the most he'd ever made. But after covering rent, groceries, and the basics, there wasn't much left. He wanted to grow, to make a bigger impact, but also to provide for his family. That's when something happened that changed everything. A student named Michael Trojanowski III enrolled in the college after watching one of Justin's YouTube videos. That same video had helped him become a Christian. That was the moment Justin realized just how powerful the internet could be. If one video could do that, what could he do with consistent content? 1. No experience? No problem. Here's the catch. Justin didn't have a background in video, no fancy gear, no editing know-how, just a GoPro he used for gym workouts. But he wasn't about to let that stop him. He found a course called Video Ranking Academy. It wasn't perfect, some of the links didn't even work, but it gave him just enough direction to get started. He committed to posting one video a week, just like preparing a weekly sermon. At first, he set a modest goal, 250 subscribers in a year. Then, after prayer and reflection, he raised it to 500. By the end of year 1, he had over 10,000 subscribers. That small step of faith had turned into something real. 2. From hustle to leap of faith. But here's where it gets intense. About 10 months in, Justin took a leap. He resigned from his job to do content full-time. That meant giving up his only source of income, but he believed God was calling him to go all in. He told his wife, "Give me 1 year." She supported him completely and even carried the financial load during that time. It wasn't easy. He was spending 20 hours a week creating content on top of everything else, but it paid off. 5 years later, their content business is thriving, and now they've reached a point where his wife could take a full year off to stay home with their new baby, all because of the foundation they built. 3. The money misconception. One of the biggest myths about content creation is that YouTube ads will pay your bills. But unless you're getting millions of views, it's just not sustainable, especially for faith-based creators. Justin tried affiliate marketing for a while, recommending Amazon products or online courses, but it didn't feel right. He didn't want to feed into the televangelist stereotype. That's when he discovered Patreon, and everything changed. 4. How Patreon changed the game. Unlike selling products, Patreon felt authentic. People weren't buying anything. They were giving because they believed in the mission. It was like an online offering plate, and for faith communities, that made total sense. At first, Justin saw slow growth, but over time he hit $1,000 a month. That paid for groceries and essentials. More importantly, it gave him freedom. He no longer had to chase brand deals or hope for viral videos. And over time, Patreon supporters grew not just viewers, but people who saw value in what he was building. Then he made another bold shift, moving from monthly support to per-creation support. This allowed supporters to feel even more connected. They weren't just giving, they were funding actual episodes. That one shift let Justin turn a single interview into 3 or 4 content pieces, a final edit, an uncut version, behind-the-scenes thoughts, one interview, multiple income streams. 5. Scaling up through strategy. Eventually, Justin realized he had hit a ceiling. His Patreon plateaued. Growth was steady, but not explosive, and he was burning out, doing everything himself, filming, scripting, editing. He had become an employee of his own mission, with no space to think or rest. That's when he made another key decision, hiring help. At times, that meant using his entire Patreon income to pay an editor, but it gave him back time to think strategically, pitch new ideas, and build with people instead of for people. 6. From solo creator to missioner. One of those new ideas was a podcast series. Justin heard that a branch within his Seventh-day Adventist church was looking for content aimed at young adults. So he pitched a 40-episode podcast they could call their own. He knew their mission, he knew their values, so he offered to be the content creator that could bring it all together. They said yes. That one contract funded months of financial runway. All it took was about 25 hours of work, around 3 or 4 full days. That gave him space not just to breathe, but to dream again. They've since repeated that model. Podcasts, documentaries, photography gigs. The formula is the same. Short bursts of deep work that provide long-term freedom. And more importantly, it opened the door to build a team that could keep the mission growing. 7. Redefining what faith-based means. A lot of Christian creators think they have to stick to a narrow formula. Talk about sin, quote scripture, stay on message. But Justin proved that you can be faithful and flexible. His mission was clear: to reach people with the gospel in ways that felt real. And he did that by expanding his content into interviews, commentary, podcasts, whatever connected with people. Because here's the truth, ministry doesn't have to look like a sermon. It can look like a story, a conversation, a podcast, a short YouTube clip. 8. What this means for pastors and church leaders. If you're in vocational ministry, pastor, youth leader, chaplain, you've probably spent thousands of hours learning to preach. But how much time have you spent learning how to speak on camera? That's a different skill. And let's be real, Zoom church during COVID felt weird for everyone. But those who adapted, they're thriving now. Justin challenges church leaders to stop romanticizing the traditional church format. Weekly sermons are great, but the gospel doesn't live on a schedule. And the internet, that's the biggest mission field we've got. Most people showing up to church are already believers, but the ones who are searching, they're online, scrolling through YouTube, asking big questions. And if your content is there, speaking truth in love, then you're doing real ministry. Justin's story is a powerful reminder of what's possible when you commit to a mission, stay open to growth, and keep showing up. He started with zero experience, just a GoPro, a deep sense of purpose, and a willingness to learn. Today, his content reaches people all over the world. More importantly, it reflects his faith, supports his family, and stays true to his core values. It's easy to get caught up in numbers, views, likes, followers, but Justin proves you don't need millions of fans to make a real impact. What you need is authenticity, a clear mission, and the courage to start, even if it's messy, even if you don't have it all figured out. Maybe you're new to creating content. Maybe you're already in full-time ministry and wondering how to expand your reach online. Wherever you are, know this: you don't have to compromise your message to succeed. You don't have to chase trends or water down your beliefs. You just need to show up with heart, with purpose, and with the boldness to try something new. If Justin's journey inspired you, give this video a like and share it with someone who's thinking about starting a faith-based channel. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe for more stories about creators, faith, and finding purpose in the digital world. Keep creating with intention, keep showing up with love, and remember, you're making a difference, even when you can't always see it.